Today we're here in northwestern Oklahoma City at the Rucker's home, and joining me is Jamie Rucker. Jamie, thank you so much for inviting us here into your backyard.
Thanks for coming.
It's a beautiful native landscape that you guys have designed here, and I think sometimes people think it's wild and crazy, but you've done an excellent job. Let's talk about your plant choices here.
Yeah, so right now you guys came at a good time, so everything's starting to bloom. We got the Mexican hats, we've got the golden crown beards coming up everywhere. Engelmann's daisy, one of our new favorites. So
Yes.
yeah.
And I know even walking back here, you've maximized that space in the side yard that's a lot of times just wasted space.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to have a full loop around, and a lot of times side yards are just kind of ugly and a pain to mow. And so yeah, we made ours, we call it Caterpillar Alley. So we plant a lot of the host plants back there, and a lot of these are host plants, but especially, you know, the dill and the milkweeds and those kind of things.
Absolutely.
So.
And you're greeted by a nice little hedge of sand plums there, and I know you've got some other edibles. Let's talk about those.
Yeah, so we've got some small raised beds here, but really a lot of the edibles are planted amongst. So like you said, the sand plums, and we've got a grape arbor over there. We've got our blackberries, and then also we really have some wild strawberries growing up as ground cover, so we're really excited about those.
So when you're out here gardening, you can kind of take advantage of some of those. And so you're not only feeding the pollinators, but you also provide them with a little bit of water too.
Yeah, so the great thing with that is, and we actually have a camera over there, so where we get to see all the things that come at night. So we've got a whole bunch of raccoons in the middle of the city, possums every night. We have a skunk too. Yeah, we smell them and see them. And then we actually have a big mouse that lives underneath our ramp. So he goes out and we see him when we're out here at night. So,
okay, all right. So the wildlife is finding your backyard. Is it fun and entertaining? I mean, y'all, that's what you wanted, right?
Well, that's why we did it, because Lauren loves insects, everything, spiders, wasp bees, all of that. So that's really how we got into the natives, is we wanted to have hosts for them. And then, yeah, so she's also volunteers at Wild Care, and so help rescue, rehabilitate those animals, those native wildlife. So that's a great thing with the pond. We get to see a lot of them.
Okay, and you kept a little bit of lawn too, right? Because, I mean, you got to have some space to kind of have different events and things like that. Yeah,
kind of our vision was that it wouldn't be just completely overgrown, everything, but that when people came in, they could see, hey, I could do this in my backyard. It looks nice, and but it's also full of plants for wildlife. Got all our little bees coming out now.
Well, and I know you're going to continue to have blossoms going through the summer and into the fall. And so what's nice about that is it continues to evolve, right?
Yeah, so really we got a lot of stuff. You know, these ironweeds are going to be coming up. And also we've got these rudbeckias everywhere that'll be blooming a little later. So, and then the goldenrods, that's our favorite. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I see Lauren over there with your new baby, so I'm gonna go check in with her a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. Hey Lauren, how are you doing?
Hi, doing good.
I love this little garden you've created for your baby Zoe. Tell us a little bit about the evolution of your garden in general.
Well, when we started out, we kind of just looked at one section of our yard and said, what if we planted flowers here? And then as we started to learn more about gardening and landscaping and planning, we would kind of pick a project to do for the year and put all the elbow grease and work into it, put it together. And then, you know, through the winter, kind of reflect on it and see what we thought. And then the next year we'd say, yeah, we really like that. How can we expand it? How can we, you know, do something else in our yard?
So this has been, what, a 4-year process?
Or? Four years of hard work.
Okay, and you had a baby in that time. How did you manage it all?
We have amazing grandparents, for one. But, you know, at first we really tag team. We would trade off taking care of the baby while one of us is out here doing the work. And then, you know, when we can, we would bring Zoe out here with us. And we would just bring her into the gardening. And sometimes the gardening would go slower because of that, but it was always more fun. And but when we do hard work and hard projects, we would wait till she goes to bed, and then we break out our headlamps and we night garden until we couldn't anymore.
Well, it's a little cooler then, at least.
It's so much cooler. It's breezy. There's not as many bugs. We actually really prefer it to gardening in the middle of the day.
So when you guys bought this house, it was just a Bermuda grass backyard, right?
Yes.
How did you find, you know, your resources and that sort of thing?
Well, you know, at first we would just go to Home Depot and buy plants, but there's just so many plants, they weren't doing great. So then we were like, well, what grows well in Oklahoma? And we went to a local flower and garden festival. We met a native plant seller, and she got us into the Native Plant Society and the Native Plant Network. And we made a lot of amazing friends who had tons of knowledge and connections, and they really got us into native plants. And there's so many varieties. There's so much fun you can do with them. We've got over 100 species of native plants in our yard so far. And, we've loved it, and they're low maintenance. They're easy to take care of, which is great when you're trying to keep a little human alive too.
Absolutely. You found your network of people to support you in both regards, right?
Yes.
Well, I love your little signs that you've created here with your senses and your smell and touch and things like that for Zoe to enjoy. But I've also seen you're expanding the design to the front yard too now.
Yes, we're trying to minimize the lawn in our front yard, and we've really enjoyed just enjoying our backyard and taking walks through it. And we'd love for our front yard to be something similar, where we actually enjoy, exploring it, going through it, playing with Zoe in the swing, and not just having, a blank lawn.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's just been a pleasure to experience your backyard and also hear about your story. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.